It's Birdman. Time for another edition of Summit Healthcare's here at Summit Healthcare in Angie Fabian's office on the 5th floor of the big building, hanging out in Show Low. With me today, we're going to talk about nutrition, and I have Becky Moffat. How are you?
I'm great. I'm so happy to be here.
Good. So you're running around. It's a little chilly outside, so we waited for you to catch your breath, right?
Yes, I had to climb 5 stairs to get here. 5 flights.
5 flights?
Yes.
So tell us, give me your title and what you do here at Summit Healthcare.
I'd be glad to. I'm a registered dietitian, and I'm a certified diabetes educator. And I mostly do outpatient. So I see people out in the community, or the doctors refer them to me. I teach classes, as well as meet with people one-on-one for a variety of different reasons. And this month is National Nutrition Month.
Oh, nice.
So I'm here to put a plug for National Nutrition Month.
Okay, we see we got a bunch of stuff there laying out in front of you.
Yes.
Why don't you tell us a little bit about National Nutrition Month, how it come about, and who it is that actually promotes that?
All right. It's the Academy of Nutrition and Dietetics, and the website is eatright.org. And each year there is a theme or a slogan that they use. And this year it's Put Your Best Fork Forward.
Uh-huh.
That is the National Nutrition Month 2017. And so I think it's just to promote good nutrition. I think most people know what's healthy, but it's just getting the word out. And it's also my organization for registered dietitian nutritionists to promote what we do.
Very cool. So the whole deal is, now nutrition, I remember growing up, a little bit older than people think maybe, but we had that pyramid thing. Has that changed a lot over the years? What's morphed and where are we at now?
Okay. The pyramid is obsolete. It wasn't a bad thing. I'm older than you, and we had this. It was a square. It was the 4 food groups.
Well, that's actually, I remember that quite often.
Yeah. And so now it's a circle. It is the plate. And honestly, it's so simple and it's visual. I use it for pretty much any patient I see, whether it might be a cancer patient or a heart patient or a lung patient or a diabetic patient. For weight loss,
Right.
I recommend the plate. The website is choosemyplate.gov, excuse me, choosemyplate.gov. But all the research points to this for every reason, to lower blood pressure, you name it, prevent cancer. Half the plate is vegetables, and a fourth of it is the starch, and a fourth of it is the protein.
Huh.
Whether it's breakfast, lunch, or dinner, it's that ratio. It's the 2-to-1 that we all need to work on. And if it's not vegetables, it's fruit and vegetables at least, 2-to-1.
And most people have just all starch, right?
Yeah, or protein and starch and very little vegetable. And so it's just, I'm working on it myself. I don't eat like that 100%, but I work towards it.
Very cool. So in the Best Fork Forward campaign, what are some of the things that they're asking and getting people to think about?
Well, actually, it really hasn't changed over all the years. I graduated from college in 1984, and it's still eat a variety of foods in moderation. And it's just so simple, and people always want a gimmick or, fat used to be out and now it's in, and protein's good and carbs are bad, and there's nothing like that. There's not really a gimmick. It's just eating a variety of healthy foods, and of course plant-based foods. Mm-hmm. That's always the best. Moderation. How do you define moderation? That's the trick, I think, for in our culture of America with all the plenty, the land of plenty. So.
So what is that moderation? What would you suggest?
Usually I for alcoholic drinks, it's 1 to 2 drinks a day. And so I actually carry that over for pretty much anything. If people ask me about sugar-free products like sweeteners, how safe are they? 1 or 2 a day is not going to hurt you. And the same goes for any kind of, whether it's a dessert or, some sort of indulgent. I would say 1 or 2 a day probably won't hurt you, but of course that's generalizing. So
Yeah. So, but overindulgence in anything is sort of bad for you, isn't it?
right, you can have too much of a good thing. You really can. You can turn orange from too much carrots. It's harder to overdo on the healthy foods, that's for sure. That's the problem. It's not that pizza's so bad, it's just so easy to overdo on pizza.
Yeah, it certainly is. You're halfway through the pizza and you're like, what just happened?
Yep, I had a whole lot of calories. Right.
Cool. What else do we need to know about for nutrition in general, and then maybe the specialized forward?
I think it's fueling our bodies, treating our bodies with respect, enjoying our food. Our food is for our enjoyment, not skipping meals. Our bodies like regular schedules. They thrive on it. And so when it doesn't know when the next meal is coming, it's kind of tends to hang on to every calorie and slow metabolism. So yeah, eat a variety of foods, moderation, eat regularly. It just sounds kind of boring. I'm sorry.
But it's funny because as boring as it is, it seems that they continually have to repeat it and repeat it and
Yes.
repeat it because it doesn't get through. I don't know. I blame sugar because I think it's an addictive substance and it keeps anybody from eating anything else. But that's just me.
I truly feel like, it's so readily available. That's number one, and it's inexpensive, number two. And sugar actually really does make us feel better, and it calms us. And we have such a high stress society, and sugar has been proven to calm us down, and that makes it that much more addictive. So I wouldn't say it's addictive in the sense of like a drug addiction where you have withdrawals, but certainly we crave it. And it's more in our minds than it is a physical addiction.
I don't know. Watching my little girls as they don't have any, it does seem like withdrawals. I don't know.
Very possibly.
Where can somebody get more information if they're looking to delve in more, get more information and things like this about the programs or just nutrition in general?
All right. My favorite one is choosemyplate.gov that I already mentioned. My academy, the Academy of Nutrition and Dietetics, is eatright.org. And those have wonderful good things you can trust. Most any website that is not trying to sell you anything would be all right.
Oh, there you go.
Mayo Clinic has good information. Just beware of the ads and what they're trying to sell you, because there's so much gimmick out there. It's crazy.
Oh, so when I'm on Facebook and it says you must eat this one thing or avoid this one thing,
Correct.
and buy our little plan, and those don't work really.
Honestly.
No. Okay.
Darn it.
Yeah.
If it were only so simple.
There's just one little magic pill that you take and automatically you weigh the exact right weight and you're not diabetic and everything. No.
We would love that.
That would be awesome, wouldn't it?
Our American public would really love to be able to eat what we want and take a pill. And yeah.
One final thing. How important is water?
Water is important. That's a good question. I think most of us get enough water. There's a big push, and it hasn't really been proven that drinking plenty of water helps us lose weight. But drinking enough water certainly helps a lot. And so I think the recommendation is half your weight in ounces. Maybe you've heard that before.
No.
To drink that much. And I try to get like a half a gallon or so a day, and it's hard for me to drink that much, but I enjoy water, and I think we need to drink more water and less of anything that has calories.
Very good. Cool. Well, I want to thank you very much for your time. Once again, Becky Moffat. Give your full title again.
Rebecca Moffat. I'm the outpatient dietitian and nutrition, and diabetes educator.
See, I didn't do it because I would have messed that up.
And I messed it up, so there we go.
Awesome. Well, thank you very much for your time today. Appreciate it.
That's my pleasure.
Cool. I'm Birdman, and that's going to be it for this edition of Summit Healthcare's. Remember, you can still subscribe and also follow this playlist on the Summit Healthcare YouTube channel, watch it on Facebook, or you can listen on the podcast as well. Apps for any of those are all available. Just go to birdman.media. That's all you got to do, birdman.media, no .com or anything. Look for the Summit Healthcare's logo, click on it, it gives you all the directions on how to follow any of that. Or you can follow, of course, the Facebook page on Facebook with Summit Healthcare's. I'm Birdman, reminding you to be healthy.